Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. Inside their mouth, truth no day. Inside their eyes, corruption day. Inside their heart, wickedness day. Once they get into power, now when the time to gain, 9 days their brains, then we type one and we change. In the name of change, why? Change. They combine those with change. Politicians promise anything, make you not believe in them. Politicians promise you, make you not believe in them. If they say make you vote for them, make you look well. If they say make you vote for them, make you shine your eyes, oh. They promise us water, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. We not they get water. Yes. They promise us light, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. We not they see the light. They promise us road, we don't see. Up till today, we don't see. Jaga road we dey see. Yes. So promise them they make. When election done they come to deceive the people. Then will they promise this and that. Then they lie on them, they lie, yo coco. Then they lie for federal. Then they lie on them, they lie for state level. Then they lie for Africa. Because they get police when they guide them. They lie police go, they support them. Because they get lawyer when then they give bribe. And go the lie lawyer go, they support them. Look, our education system don't have a room for Niger. That make all our youths them come they do yahoo. Politicians set all of them na yahoo. Our government system set na yahoo.
It's Yahoo. You see, my name is Daddy Chris. This is SRTV/Robo Television, broadcasting tonight all the way from London. Listen, I have a message for many people who think I wasting my time. The message I drop on my shows might not be for your generation, but time will come when people like us will be honored for what we've done. Because in this difficult time, we did not only say the truth, but we actually bring in knowledge into broadcasting. And I have no apology for that. I don't talk rubbish. When you come on my show, you get something. So tonight, I'm going to do what I do best. I hope my crew, I'll be more lenient tonight in my approach. I'm going to be more lenient tonight, and I'm going to be very, very careful. I'll try and be clinical as much as I can. For if you're just joining me or if you're just joining my show for the first time, my name is Daddy Chris, and this is SRTV. But tonight I'm broadcasting to 2 platforms, which is SRTV and Robo Television. I always say I'm a Robo man, so you get to watch the show, and you're going to bear if people speak Robo at some point. But right now, Daddy Chris will speak English, and everybody can understand. Okay. Yesterday on this show, I took my time to talk about who is our enemy individually. So that when we go and make a decision and when we go and vote, we can identify our enemies. Our enemies is not what you see now. You, the Robo man, your enemy is not the Igbo man. It's not the Ika man. It's not the Isoko man. No, it's not the Shekiri man. Umba. Your enemy is the rich man among you that is taking advantage of your destiny, that is raping your children, your life, and everything. That's what I talked about yesterday. And I have no apology for that. I went further to explain that our enemies are people like the senators who is running I don't know why I'm picking on him. I'm sorry. If Sharif is one of them. These are slave traders. And I have explained it in details. If you didn't watch that show yesterday, please go and do so. It's right there. Just click on it and you'll see when I try to identify our enemies. I try to do that on an individual level. Tonight, and as we were talking, most of these things, I tried to talk about them. I don't know why we really didn't listen to the man. He's gone now. Now we know how important he is. But tonight, I'm going to do something a little bit more than the usual. Yes. Well, do correct, Elizabeth. You see, tonight I want to do something a little bit unusual. And what is it? I want to talk about the state. Yesterday I talked about me and you. And today I want to look at the state, the importance of the rule of law. And for me to address this issue, I want to personally indict the Europeans, the Western world that taught us democracy. And that was what Fela was saying, demonstration of grace, crazy demonstration. If it is not grace, why for Africa? I'm going to explain this a little bit further so that you can understand my argument. You might not like it, you might not agree with me, but that's what I love about this. But I think I owe Nigerians, I owe Africans this topic, and I'm going to talk about it tonight. They taught us that the best form of government is democracy. Now, they never really define what is democracy. And sometimes when you guys pick on democracy, you pick on government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay? He didn't say the one with the highest number of votes. He didn't say, I want you to understand this. What is democracy? I want to quote the king of Jordan. He said democracy will mean different things to different people. When the young man ascended office years ago, I was still in Belgium. He said democracy will mean different things to different people. And I want us to take time. And in my analysis of democracy tonight, I want to argue one thing. Perhaps my argument tonight might be in favor of our local system, our kings. Maybe that is what I want to argue about, but maybe not. Because I'm not even very certain if I want them or I don't want them. But I think they have a place to play in society. Now, for you to understand what I'm saying, this same democracy is not practiced the same anywhere, everywhere, the same in the rest of the world. Their system of government, in fact, how they pick the highest number of votes, is not the same anywhere. So that's what I want to talk about. In America, they have the presidential system of government, where the president is in charge, and they have the different states who run their individual states, and they call it the federal system of government. And they vote for their president. They vote for every arm, somebody. That is because it's a republic. In the United Kingdom, we have the monarchical system of government, meaning we have a king, a monarch, who is our king. Nobody votes for him, yet he's the king. They did not say it's a bad practice. He's the king. I live here. But we vote for the other arms of government, which is the parliament. We vote for members of the parliament. The members of the House of Lords are not voted for. They are inherited. Quote me anywhere. It is of written now that the prime minister now appoint and reappoint and delete, reappoint. So as they find their path in the 21st century, Tony Blair did a lot of shake-up in that system. So when people tell you democracy, what does it mean to you as ordinary Nigerians? As an African, what do you understand by democracy? Within the same system, I've been able to prove to you that in America, they vote for all. In the United Kingdom, we don't vote for our king. When the queen died, Charles automatically became the king. Period. Deal with it. The same thing you see in the Oba of Benin. When the Oba dies, another Oba, the son, takes over. no argument. Maybe we're going to look at the advantages and disadvantages tonight, but that is not my argument. My argument is what are the rudiments of democracy? I talked about the importance of rule of law. You see, why do people, first, I hear Nigerian government now, these guys now, they now begin to speak my language, that the primary aims of government is protection of lives and property. It's more than that, though. The primary aims of government need to be redefined today. Government brings stability to a community. All right, that is agreed. And that's what you get. When one leaves, another one takes over. Without argument, the people accept there's stability. It has happened in Nigeria today. We voted, we are fighting, we don't agree with one another. That is a discussion for another day. But my argument, why I'm indicting the Western world, is they taught us democracy and they did not tell us the truth. What is the importance? What does democracy really mean? Is it government of the people? When people vote and some idiot are getting into office, either by crook and means, they are democratically elected? Rubbish. A society, before the white people came to Africa, we have a system of government. We have kings ruling over the land. And believe it or not, there was no anarchy in Africa as much as we have now. During that time, when the king speaks, you keep quiet. There was a system of government in place that ensures law and order. Let me repeat that. During our old system of government, which they told us is barbaric, is primitive, is unacceptable, there was stability in African kingdoms because there was one thing called rule of law, because the king were enforcing the law, because they were accepted. The king of Jordan, when the father died, he took over. And in his own definition, he said democracy will mean different things to different people. I understand, because nobody voted for him. You couldn't fault him because you cannot fault the Queen of England then. So how dare you criticize the King of Jordan if you cannot criticize the Queen? So let's not go into that. But what I'm trying to say is that the bottom line is, in these countries, there is stability. They don't fight. In England, we didn't fight when the Queen died, the King take over. Things are going on smoothly. But in Africa, it's not the same. But that is just the system of the transition. It's not even my headache. What is important in England today is we obey the law. The institutions set up to enforce the law are effective, independent of the government. Let me use that word. The system of enforcing the law in the United Kingdom is effective, independent of the government. No matter who becomes the prime minister, the law will remain the law in England. People will obey the law in England. Whoa. It's only in Africa that you see, war against indiscipline, so that people will obey the law. In fact, the reason we voted for Buhari, we thought it's going to bring war against indiscipline back, because people were looting the money, and we didn't know what to do. Perhaps, if you permit me to say, that democracy does not really mean how you vote from one government to the other, but the system that is put in place to make sure that there is law and order in a society. Because how can you say something is democracy if there's no law and order? Perhaps that's what Fela was saying, that if good teacher teach something and student make mistake, teacher must talk so, but you will not talk so. Now support they support. Look at what happened today. Tinubu won election. By who? Where? Baba, you know the truth. I cannot say for far that he didn't, so I keep quiet. But you know one thing good that is good about me? Because I understand the importance of rule of law. I will obey. I will accept him as my president. I will respect him. In fact, I will do everything possible to support him if the court says he won. Yes, I'm going to, Princess will be joining me shortly. Princess, get ready to join the show, please. All right. If the law say he's the rightful winner, I have nothing against it. That's because I understand the importance of rule of law. It doesn't have to favor me. Of course, you can't tell me to kill my mother and I will. That's a bad law. But any law that is within the reasonable, within the level of reasonableness, I will obey. Let me bring Princess into the show. Princess.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not fair. People in Africa are looking better than me that is living in London. There's God, oh. I'm going to keep us at a distance. I better not bring you close. You're going to make me look very, very ugly, more than uglier than as I have been. Wait, and that's what I did one.
Calm down, sir.
All right.
All this one are packaging, fine, sir.
You're welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, tonight I want us to look at what I said. I talked about the importance of rule of law, and that I made mention that in England nobody voted for our king. The queen that passed on, we didn't vote for her. It's a tradition that when the kings die, the first son or the first daughter will take over. And nobody says it's not democracy. But in Africa, when our kings were in charge, it was not democracy. It was barbaric. It was this. We bought it. No problem. Okay. Now, in their system, there's stability. There's stability. People do one thing. In England, there is stability. No matter who becomes prime minister, the system will run smoothly. In fact, it's the prime minister that will go. The system will remain intact. So perhaps what is important, if I understand their democracy correctly, is a system that ensures stability, the maintenance of law and order, irrespective of who is in charge. In fact, that person is ruled by the law. Not, you see, in Africa, you know what the problem is? The president is the law. Or the rich men in Africa, they are the law.
Politicians are the law.
Yeah. But in the United Kingdom, in America, in the civilized world, the law is superior to any bagger. You see what they did to Donald Trump when he was president? In fact, only the few people that they have diplomatic immunity. That is what they use the word diplomatic immunity. So that because of stability of the sensitivity of the office, they allow you to do certain things. But if you break the law, they bring you back. When your immunity has been taken away. But you see the problem I have today in Africa. Rather than we talking about how we're going to come to a system that works for us, we are busy preaching democracy we don't understand. You see, for democracy to flourish, the most important thing, if you say you live in a democratic society, then there is rule of law. Many people obey the law. The president obeys the law.
It does that. We live in a country that is difficult for even the people that made the law to stand by the law. They make this law, but they expect the commoners only to stand by this law.
Right by the law.
Yes, and that is why when sometimes you get to a traffic light in Abuja, you could see convoy politicians. They will pass the traffic lights while everybody is busy waiting patiently. They just come and then they go. These are the same set of people that do what enforce the laws, and that is why you see that if this Ikwe case, yes, we know that if that was to be in Nigeria, the matter would have been dead and gone, buried a long time ago.
Yes.
And you see how it is in other countries. You can't just come and violate somebody's rights or person's law and then get away with it. And it only shows that a lot of things are not working here. And that's why
Princess,
you see
you
that
know, you see the point there.
a
Yeah.
police person, road safety, will stand on the road, and then the next thing they do, they collect bribe, collect money, and they allow you go, leaving what you're supposed to do. And then by the time you are trying to question them or trying to stand on your ground, you become the enemy at that point. And
Princess,
so we
yeah, let's see one thing now. Sorry, I'll let you finish that. You just mentioned the case of Ekweremadu. You see, the people that is making sure that Ekweremadu face the consequences of his action are not in fact the people in government. Or they are part of government, but they are independent of the government. I don't know. They are stability. Is the system of police. Police is more important than the president. That is the message I want to preach tonight. The police is more important than the office of the president. The custom, the people that are there, these are institutions that are designed to make a society stable. Until those ones, we don't see the importance of it. They are actually slaves to the so-called person that ascend office. And that is the biggest trouble we have. And that cannot be democracy. Democracy is when this institution, we look at democracy from how it affects the government and us. We made a big mistake. Until the government respects the office of the police, of the custom, and they do their job, and the court can deliver their job. See, the man sitting on the Ekweremadu's case, the prime minister cannot tell that judge what to do. He or she won't do it. This is system.
And that is why you see also that the police here, instead of doing what they are supposed to do, most time they are there busy carrying bags of politicians. You see one politician, just one politician will have probably 6 to 5 police people, orderlies, following them left and right. And then at the end of the day, they leave vulnerable Nigerians they are supposed to protect, and they are there protecting people that already have bulletproof cars. They already live in mansions. They already live in secured areas that at least it will not be very easy for you to access. So what's the point of bringing so much security at the same time everywhere you go? Meanwhile, Nigerians are there. Look at the news the other day, 53 people abducted just from a community. How many people do you have in that community? That means half of it is gone. And then you don't have one single, yes, you don't have one single checkpoint in the whole of Mina to Bida, which is about 4 hours. It's really pathetic. And then sometimes these politicians, man, I know they see eye till they look them. They're the same people, they will break the law right there in the National Assembly. After setting the law right there in the National Assembly, they break the law even before they come out. So
and they're stupid or they are wicked, because there are two differences in there. I don't see
it's
wickedness there. I
wickedness
see
as far as I'm
stupidity.
concerned.
They're stupid. If you're wicked,
And they are
then you know what
wicked
you're doing.
also. It's the two put together. They are stupid, they are wicked.
What a bad combination.
It's really pathetic.
It is. It is. Because if they understand that, because you know what is so important? Buhari might think he has been God, because I saw when Buhari want to sit. There's something Nigerians do. I don't know whether this is an African thing. Before any governor will come and sit, one man will sit at the back, like whether ordinary, I don't know. He's the one that will open the seat for the man, for president to go and sit. So a president cannot take his seat and sit down to sit, princess. You put seat for the beggar to sit. Who is he? I don't understand this.
And not just these presidents, not just these politicians alone. Sometimes it extends to their children. You see, I have seen a lady before. Then she was a senator. The children also they had security personnel, police people carrying bags, and like this is just it. I'm tired of this country. And then you see these
don't worry, princess, because we need you tonight. Your network is not going to try it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adi Chris, and princess is all the way with me from Abuja. Let me allow her system to come back together, because she's the one that can help us put certain things in perspective tonight. We're talking about yes, princess is back. Yes, She's back, and yeah, Princess, are you back? Yes, good. Your network was a little bit shaky.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
yeah, like you were saying, no.
Yes, I say so. Sometimes you see that not just these politicians, but their children, and sometimes it is it is bad. The fact that, like I said earlier, I know a lot. I live in Abuja, of course, so I know a lot of politicians. I know we know where they live. Even the ones I have some in my estate here, we know where they live. We know how secure the area already is, and then they have so many convoy. Sometimes too, also you see that even on the highway, you see that, okay, sometimes there was a time they blocked this road just because Osinbajo was supposed to come to the redeem behind my house, and then they blocked some other road for people not to pass until he will come and go. And so even on the way to airport, sometimes that's what they do. And it's really bad. You cannot create law and then you break the laws most time. And I remember then when Buhari came in the first time, there was
Yes.
a time he obeyed traffic, and then everybody was like, "Oh, this is the best president." Oh, even then, my former office people were saying, "Oh, this is the best man for us. Look at how a serious human being should behave." He got to the traffic light, he had to wait. So many convoy, he was in a haste to the airport, but then he still had to wait. And then I was even telling them that no, it is not now you're supposed to judge this man, you're supposed to wait. These are just things you
Responsibility.
see, charade. Yeah, these are charade, shenanigans you see just because they're just coming in. So relax and let's see. And that is why you see after some time those all that had to stop. So at the end of the day, I keep saying it, in Nigeria, no structure, no rule of law,
Yes.
no institutions, nothing is working. As far as I'm concerned, nothing. We cannot get one thing right. It is not possible
Princess,
because
the thing I don't understand is people, we are busy chasing the wrong. Yesterday, you know what I said? I said we're chasing the wrong enemy yesterday. Today, Nigerians, we are busy chasing the wrong arms or the wrong savior we are looking for. The savior of the Nigerian state is not the president, it's not this bloody election. The savior of the Nigerian state are the institution. How do we protect the Nigerian police to work for us? How do we ensure the Nigerian custom works for us? You understand? How do we ensure that laws put in place are working for us? If this bagger, because no, see, because I don't understand how it is, I don't know how we're going to get there. In England, there's no prime minister that can make the law not to work. There's no president of America that can make the law not to work. The law will remain the law. He's either by it or he's kicked out. So our problem is not the people, these fools we're putting into office. Look at Agege becoming governor. What is he going to do? Oh, sheriff. In fact, it's story. This guy knows nothing. What we need to be chasing today is Nigerians sitting there and saying, okay, now, you know what we really need? If the police is effective, then they can arrest the prime minister, they can arrest the governor for doing something bad. Perhaps that is our challenge. To have an institution that works. Politicians will come and go. They stay for only 4 years and they leave, right? So they are not our problem. So our problem is the people that are there, put in place in a lifetime, that stability. That if you misbehave, this will tell you, you cannot do this. You are under arrest, sir. That's what they do here. And you will be under arrest.
the thing is that most times, sef, when it comes to arrest and all that, we all know that the security agencies will have here. Sometimes they are biased when they carry out the jobs. That's because they've been bought over by these people. Of course, the fear of who is who here. Of course, you will not just go and that is why a lot of people, you will still see a politician's child here in Abuja that is beating the traffic, and they will let the person go. Abeg o, I no want the father wahala o. Abeg o. One day I had to park. I think I was doing something around, and I had to ask the policeman that, who is the boy's father that just passed? I don't know, but are you not seeing the way they are, the way the kind of car they are driving, the way they are dressed and all that? I'm thinking they are politicians' children using convoy, and I don't want problem. And I say, okay, but if it's me, you will want problem. I said, I be say you go see problem when it go tire you. Because I'll deliberately not drive and break this law. Let's see how that goes. So that is the thing, that Chris. The issue here is that these security agencies, they've been so suppressed to the extent of they don't know their jobs anymore. They've been suppressed by power, by money, by fear, and then they are not able to carry out their jobs. Cool. Of course, you know that there are some things you would do, and that is why we had the issue of one senator. Then what's his name again? I'm trying to get his name. That went to a sex shop in Abuja with a babe, and then he had to slap the worker there, and then he just left. But the only luck they had was that what saved the girl, the sales girl, was that there was a CCTV camera there. And that was how, and later said the man was still making mad that nothing will happen. We get away with it. So you bully a girl in her own shop because you see yourself as a senator and you think you can walk into my own shop and you slap me and then you get away with it. That is the country. Of course, he's a senator. What are you going to do to a senator? Are you trying to tell me that he get one policeman when he get moral, get level, go in house, go arrest him? No, and that is why when people say the youth should protest, they know who to go and fight. I think in Abuja here, not carry waka, because if you do anyhow, you go see anyhow. Don't be everywhere that the waka enter. Sometimes you see these politicians, the kind of people guiding them, the kind of estate they live in. You can't just go there and say you are they are going to shoot you, and they will get away with it. They will tell you in self-defense that you are a thief or you are something. So at the end of the day, it is let's start from there. The security agencies, they'll be suppressed by fear and of course even some of them, they've been bought. We know the EFCC now. We know that the time Buhari came in newly, the whole arrests were being channeled towards the PDP, of course. And then when Akpabio, that was a PDP, Godwin Akpabio, that was a P, and we all know him. We all know that they are all crooks. And at the end of the day, because he defected to APC, Oshomole made a statement that the moment you cross from PDP to APC, your sins are forgiven. I can't forget that first statement. Yes, now he said that lie.
We go wake up and see for this new dispensation.
And then anyway, these are the issues. So just because somebody left APC, the person was a PDP, was in PDP, and then they have been stealing, they have been looting. We all know them, what they have been doing. And just because he now joined you in your party, APC, you came out to say in a live broadcast that the moment you leave that party to our party, your sins are forgiven, because you are God that is forgiving sins now. Oh, and at the end of the day, EFCC did nothing about that till today. Akpabio is a free man. So what are we not saying? It's really sad in this part of the world. It's sad.
This is what we should. You see, as we spend energy looking for voting who is the next president, who is the next governor, this is not going to solve African problem. So no, this problem will remain as it is. Peter Obi cannot solve Nigerian problem until our problem is not even the public, because those guys will listen. I can imagine a prime minister in England telling the custom or the thing to do something otherwise. They don't have the right. They wouldn't even try it. Only a prime minister dancing when everybody were during COVID, they asked him to resign. Just dancing, no. The man not Tifo. Princess, the ones he said the man had fun when everybody were asked to stay at home. That he made a law that he didn't obey, that the rest people obeyed it. The man had to resign. He stepped down. A prime minister voted for. That is a system that works. The question is, I'm looking for that system. How do we have the system in Africa? It's not the president. We don't need a president. This whole power, this whole money we are wasting to vote for one fool who is half dead, who's not going to do anything. It's waste. It pains me so much in my ear. I wish Nigerians, yesterday I came and I said, Nigeria, we're chasing the wrong enemy. Again, Nigeria, we're chasing the wrong enemy here again. Rather than looking for all this energy we use to vote for these fools, rather than using it to correct how a system can be in place. I'm not talking of restructuring or taking power to north, and this whole thing are rubbish. What we need is a system that works, a police that is effective. How do we achieve that? Perhaps that is what Nigeria should be talking about today. All the young people who say, hey, we want to live in a civilized country where the law that affects me affects you, Baga.
And sometimes, let's not forget, we know the youth, they are craving for leadership and all that, hoping that maybe when we come in, we're going to be able to structure the country. Yes. But let's not start to see the likes of Yaya Bello of Kogi.
Oh my God.
They become a failure. And these ones now, people when they drag us, the youth, into the mud, but now they accept that they drag into
no. It happened to be the biggest disgrace.
Yes, because this is somebody that we saw as a youth, that we saw that is going to be different, but he's even worse. Like his own is more than the others. And then sometimes you see them in Abuja. I have been to somewhere where I saw them and the aides and all that, and the things they were doing, you could even imagine that. How can a sitting governor be doing this in the public? And then these are the issues, and then they still get away with it. So they get away with it. A lot of.
Tinubu will do things and get away with it. Buhari has done and get away with it. But if the system were all right, they would tell them no. You see what I'm saying? You cannot do that in the United States of America. They will tell you, hey, this is
and that is why Kweremadu is still there, and we're not saying that I'm not.
Tell them to bring the money.
I'm not wishing him bad though. I'm not like I'm praying for him to be there, but
I want him to be here. I want him to be here. I'm praying for him to die here.
The Bible says, whatever you sow, you will reap. And this is just a little of what they have sowed over the years that they are reaping.
Want to ever leave England, he must pay the price. You see the importance of this, because you see, even here, if I commit a crime and I am caught, I am going to happily go and pay the price to society. There's no other way. You understand? See, and I
interviewed the FCT commander Wobin Gora of road safety, and he told me something that, do I know that? I asked him, because he told me that whether or not it's late, he used to obey traffic. And I told him that, but why is that? Not like there are cars behind you, any car coming through. Why do you always, what's the need for Nigerians? And of course, we know that there are some traffic lights at night in Abuja here. It has happened to my friend, even to me, but I was just mad that day. God was on my side. Where you will go to a traffic light and then late at night you're waiting, and then the next thing you just see some people trying to get into your car, trying to forcefully come in just because the place is quiet and they know you are waiting for traffic lights to pass. And then at the end of the day, I was asking the man, so in this situation, what do we do? He told me that, do you know that in as much as there's nobody there, you are still supposed to obey the traffic light? And now that brings me to the part of somebody in the US that told me that, in the US, if you are driving at night, let's say 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning, and then the road is entirely quiet, empty, quiet, there is no single soul, and then you get to a traffic light and you beat the traffic light, that no problem. The next thing you will see is a message or email. And then you'll still try, that's that. Whether or not you pass, there is nobody there, you're going to be held responsible, you're going to pay that fine. Just because as you're going, there is a particular camera that will just capture
That's
your
that
is it.
That's how
At that point, you don't need a police officer. You don't need one officer to come and say stop, or you have beat the traffic, or don't beat the traffic. No, these are systems that are working. Do you get? Whether or not you're there, things have been put in place to checkmate this kind of people or things. But in Nigeria, which system you get? In as much you go see, say, as far to Boko Haram issue, nobody gets, except for the fact that Boko Haram we bring the video out on their own. The government cannot go and get a single footage. You don't see anywhere in Abuja. Sometimes you go to government institution here. The other day I went with Juliet to Secretariat. You will not see CCTV anywhere. It's hard. The ones you see, they are dated, they are not working well. So at the end of the day, these people don't want to get anything right. They just feel like, okay, it's government something. Let me enter to and eat. After all, the people when they up, they eat. So it's not me that will come and kill myself. It has been the rhyme. It has been the rhythm over the years in Nigeria. So if we are saying what can we do to say what to bring for laws to be established or to work perfectly, I don't think we're seeing anything that soon. Sorry, Nigerians, I'm not even trying to be too harsh or crash your hope, but I'm not even seeing a system that is working, because the people in power, first and foremost, they are the ones that will first of all break this law. Okay, now
Princess,
look at these elections we had.
Hmm.
This election, how many court ruling have you heard so far? Court is giving INEC order, it's giving Obi order, it's giving PDP order, and it's giving Tinubu order. Is that not a state of confusion? Of course it is a state of confusion. And then you expect me that somebody, these politicians that we do die hard politics or do or die politics to come and obey the law. Of course, if they are obeying the law, they will not even in the first place come and be doing this kind of gra gra or do or die politics. No,
Yes.
they will come in.
Yes.
They will allow Nigerians to vote them in.
Yes.
People that do not care about human life, they cannot. Then the law is too small. As far as full human being is concerned, they don't care. Let alone ordinary laws that can be. Of course, the law is made by man, can be broken by man. That is what they tell you. That is what they tell you, and that is why you see that you could go to. I went to. There was a time I went to a filling station, and then there was so much queue, and people are just. We've been there for some time that they are not selling. They will start selling a particular time. Everybody we decided to wait. And then the next thing, a police van came in. I think it's one of these healers, these escort healers came in. And they started selling to the guy immediately. They brought out so many jerry cans and all that. And then this is somebody, of course, that it's working for a politician. So in this country that increase is who you know, now be your level for here. This is not the UK. And this is how people have been living here. Like I told you, I had an accident before. On my way, I was traveling on the express somewhere close to Lokoja. And then we were rushed to FMC Lokoja. And what I saw there, I was rushed to the emergency, and other people as well. This is a matter of life and death. And then we were practically begging. I was begging God to keep me alive. And what happened was that I saw the attitude of these doctors. They were drinking tea. Who does that in an emergency ward? And then I had to, after the whole thing, when I came back to Abuja, I called the one of I think it's one of their house member there. I called him, and he's very close to the Yaya Bello. I had to send him a message on WhatsApp that I'm going to write a story, and don't be too offended. Of course, when you see that story anywhere, know that it came from me. This is what I saw in your state, and it's really a shame. And he was like, no. He called me immediately. You can't do that, oh, please. What you're supposed to do is to call me where you were there. Immediately they will attend to you. And that I will always say this. So let's assume I don't have your number. What happens then? The people there that are on the floor crying, wailing, they don't have anybody to speak for them or to talk to. So they will be able to talk to the chief matron. What happens? This is the country we live in, where people break the law and they get away with it. And even if you say, okay, let's set these laws, do you know, is this same politicians now that we still disobey the law? They come on, man. Of course, like I told you, you and NS some days ago, I told you guys that I saw somebody that VIO charged 10K for breaking the law, and after she told me everything, I was the one that told her that no, you're actually supposed to pay 50,000 and then still go to psychiatric because you are not well.
Thank you.
These are the issues. So at the end of the day, Daddy Chris, it's when there's this parable where it comes from, that you see black man, if you know, if his soup never pepper well, you know, they put red oil inside.
Okay.
Really now. So I think by the time they begin to the JB big men and their children, everybody head go reset on their own. So you can't say Okay, now, for instance, look at this Dangowas case in Kano. Somebody that was alleged that murdered some people on the election day was bailed. Is it not be me? And sometimes you are actually with us now in the most time you're always with us in newspaper reviews.
Mm.
He was bailed with 50 million. Sorry, 500 million. And then somebody
Wow.
dey Apo police station or Gariki police station here now dey suffer because of how much? 2,000. And the person probably has been there for like 5 months. So what are we not saying that this thing is not working in Nigeria, is not working. Now until we have a leader that knows the importance of the rule of law, it
Yeah,
cannot work.
this is what I'm saying now. Perhaps in the one that is here already, we don't need a leader anymore. In fact, this law, we kick the leader out.
Okay, if we kick the leader out,
yeah.
okay, you want us to kick the leaders. How do we practice the rule of law then without the
That is
leaders
it.
involved?
In fact, that's what I'm praying for. That I don't know where to start right now, because in my head, I think we are wasting 4 billion, 20 billion to run elections, whereas that money should have been used to constitute a system that is stable. You know, when I started this show, I talked about our traditional system of government, which was in place there, Princess. There was rule of law. When our king says something, whatever the king says is law, and people obey it, and there was law and order in society. Do you understand? There was law and order. Today, it was not as disorganized as it is now, where a village fool automatically become the most important person in society because he has won election, because he has stolen election. And because all the resources go there, and it comes down to what I talked about yesterday. When I say some people are slaves, a society where there is slaves and slave traders, the slaves cannot have a say. Otherwise, if the slave and the slave trader are recognized, if Nigerians are born equal, those of you that go to church, God said, I created all of you the same. He didn't create you better than me. If you understand that anytime you treat me like a slave, you're offending God. Maybe that is the best thing to preach to them now. I don't know what to say to you guys in Nigeria. That the problem in Nigeria, there's no president, it's not a presidential problem. Because the reason I know, no bagger prime minister can misbehave in England. We will kick him out. We will kick him out. It's not a question of this. And another thing, they tell you about democracy. I started by saying, we didn't vote for the queen. We didn't vote for the king. But the system is stable. So our system is, our problem is not this it's not this voting for this and that. We need a stable, a stabilized system of government in place. I'm not talking of who become president, because they are not the government. The government is more than the president and that. The government is actually the police, the law enforcement agencies, you understand? Imagine if the police were doing their job. Who born president to steal?
How can they do their job when they are being paid peanuts, and at the end of the day they still rely on these politicians to give them allowances, pocket money and all that? The normal policeman here in Nigeria would prefer to go and work with a politician rather than be on the highway or be in the stations, because they feel that they will get more money, more favors from these people than the federal government itself. So who not like better thing?
I didn't really get it better thing. Princess, let's go on a quick break and come back, because I'm having a headache. I've never seen a show. I have never done a show and I get frustrated. This is frustrating me because I'm looking for the solution and I cannot even pick it up, because I know that the problem is not the governors, it's not the senators, it's not the president. The problem of the Nigerian state is not going to be solved by them. It's going to be solved by an effective policing, an effective law and order state. How do we achieve that? Nigeria, perhaps that's what we should be doing, rather than using all our money to vote Tinubu to become president. Let's go on the break. When we come back, we continue. Don't go away.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora. Look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian African Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian Week, celebrating the best of Nigeria from the rest.
Yes, people. Yeah, I know because the princess was a little bit away. I can see her secretly run away and come back, so I bring her back quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, we are today discussing a very important topic. And like I said, it's the only time I get frustrated doing a show because I know Nigerian problem. And yesterday I came and I said, we're chasing the wrong enemy. We're chasing the wrong enemy. As a people, we are told that our enemy is the Yoruba man, the Hausa man, the next neighbor. Well, that person is actually your friend. Your enemy is that thief that stole the money, the richer man that have it all and you don't have anything. He's the slave trader. Nigeria, what we have are slave traders. And the slave traders are treating us as slaves. And instead of chasing them, we end up fighting. I asked a question yesterday. The Hausa men you said that is in your place attacking you. Look at the lifestyle they have. What kind of life? Who is born to live in the bush? He said the man at bush, they stay. You know the man is a lost game already. So we should not be asking. I always say to people, I said something in legal profession. They'll tell you in mathematics, 1 + 1 is 2. In law, they will ask you, why is 1 + 1 2? You see the difference? And this is how I want Nigerians to think today. Why is it happening? Know what is happening. The man that is in the bush attacking my wife, why is he there? Who is my enemy? That's what I talked about yesterday. But tonight, I'm saying something a little bit different. We're spending a lot of money and I bought a lot of money trying to get somebody in president, in governors. Look at the misbehavior. Look at what we see. Look at the scenes. And I reminded you that nobody voted for the King of England. He's accepted. So we don't need to do all this, to spend all this our bloody money to vote one fool in who is just there to steal. Now, that aside. But he's not going to solve the problem. Our true problem is not that guy. It's the system that can tell the prime minister or the president, get out. Your time. You can't do this.
Okay, Daddy Chris, who makes the law? Let's start from there.
Yeah, you see, because Nigeria is so unique, we have a constitution already. They can only amend the constitution. There are extent they cannot do. Who is
in charge of amending the laws? Who are those people that are supposed to amend the laws?
We voted them, so we are in charge. If you vote a fool there, that fool will go and give you rubbish.
So this brings us back to what I was saying. Until we have people there, the sensible people,
yes,
the people with good hearts that are there to amend these laws, we are going to remain the way we are.
No, princess,
it is simple.
The problem in Nigeria is not the law. The laws are there. The law are good. The law did not say you should go to office and steal. It didn't allow you okay, where it is faulty is where you
don't get it now. The laws are there, but we are not obeying the laws because yes. Of course we know that we can easily get away with it.
Thank you. That's the part I want to correct. If you see, there's a local government chairman that stayed in my place. The only local government chairman I respect in my local government. You know, in those days, if you drive one way, Omene will personally stop you. You understand? And make sure you go to court and you will go to jail or whatever penalty you get it. From that day, nobody was driving one way in Uganda.
Let me tell you, human beings and Daddy Chris, Nigerians, they need a consistent drilling. You can't just do something once and you leave them, because this country, like we said, even the president that is coming and the leaders, I do not envy the president because they have a lot. More than
I hate to be president of Nigeria. I will never take that.
Yes, because this place is not a place that somebody will come. Except say the leader just won't call here, come cash cruise. If not, there's nothing there you're going to enjoy. From day one to the last day you are living is work, and still maybe you'll be able to do just maybe 10% or 5% because the country has been a total mess. Now this is it, Daddy Chris. Sometimes sometimes when people say, I remember when the head of service, the former head of service came in, Oyo Etsa to be precise, when she came in, when she was appointed, she came in. After like I think a month or so, she came to the secretariat. You know, normal that nonchalant attitude of civil servants of coming to work maybe around 11, around 11:30 or 10, and then they stroll in, and around 1 or 2 p.m. they stroll out also. So this lady probably already have observed these things, and then she decided to just come in around maybe 8 in the morning, the normal official hour of office time. And she came in, I think around 8 to 9 thereabouts. My senior colleague actually covered that particular event. She came in very early. She didn't tell anybody, she just came in to secretariat, and she drove in and she went. She started going from office to office. She started, and then people started making calls. The head of whatever, she's here, everybody come, start running. How far can you run? Abuja is big, probably you are still sleeping in your house. So where are you running to? And then the few people she met, security people, few staff she met, you know how big secretariat is, how big that arm is. She wrote their names and she left with their names. And at the end of the day, she did a press conference stating that this is how she will be working henceforth. She will come the time nobody's expecting, and this is how she will be taking their names, rosters and all that. And you know, after a while, they came this to the first people she met the first time. They gave them laptop, they gave them money, gift, and that. Before you know, the next week, 8 o'clock now, everywhere don't full for secretariat, like no space again. And then she continued. After a while, the whole thing just went back to normal, because of course, she cannot keep babysitting adults and come and be telling adults you are supposed to be in your office by 9 a.m. or you're supposed to close by 5 or 4. She can't keep doing that. Of course, she has other thing that she was doing. Probably then she had to do something else. And then that was how the thing now went back to normal, the way it used to be. So Daddy Chris, if you want this thing to work, is a continuous something. And that's when you have leaders that are willing also to do that, like she did. I wish she was able to do that for 20 times in a year, or even, do you know how the system would have been? But probably she did that only 1 or 3 times and she stopped. And then of course Nigerians now, you know, say Nigerians, before, if they're not kukuma push them, they're not, they move. At the end of the day, they went back to being that comfortable zone. They felt okay, the woman, she's so busy now, she doesn't even have anybody's time, she's busy with the government presidency stuff and all that. And then that was how it is. So Nigerians need the leaders. I keep saying, no, it's not about Nigerians. It's when, because of course they prosecute the common man. Now, who told you that they don't prosecute us here? They do. Road safety go catch you, especially VIO. Last month for Lagos go catch you. They know they hear beg. You have to pay through your nose. Yes. But it's only the big men that they will not even hold. These are the issues. Road safety here. I told you yesterday that there's and this lady was telling me, she's having medical because of this at 10,000. The money is giving her BP. I say no. If you are very lucky that I was not there. If I did there, I will make sure say that officer take 50K and then still carry you go Jabi Federal Medical Center. You go psychiatric ward, go stay for some time, and then your head will now be correct. Next time. I have a friend that did that. She was answering call while driving. A WhatsApp call. I don't even know if it's a video call. And she was arrested. They took her car. Because of course now, maybe she's thinking she's a fine girl. She can get away with it. You know, this is Abuja. She knows people and all that. And road safety took her car away. She called me around after 6 in the evening. And I told her that it's too late. There's nothing I can do. The next day, she started calling very early. I'm like, I have where I'm going to work. I can't do this. But around 12, I had to go with her to road safety. Of course, I went to road safety's office with her, and even the commandant. I went to see the commandant, and I told him that please, they should bend the law a little, not because I am not a good Nigerian, but because she was crying and she even begged the people that this will not happen again. But I even wanted them to drill her too, so that this does not happen again. And the man was telling me that you come here to interview me on a daily basis and I can't do this because you are one of the people that's supposed to be helping us to promote these laws. And for that reason, the fact that she's a friend to a journalist, I'm going to make sure we grind her even more, which I okay too. I said, yes, I need you people to grind her for me so that next time she will do the right thing at the right time. And she told me that the man was not saying, okay, I understand. For that reason, the fact that you are even willing to grind your own friend, I am going to reduce the cash she's supposed to pay. I think that she was supposed to pay 50K and they have to reduce to 30K, but she will have to go to psychiatric, which I okayed. And my friend said she's willing to pay 100K, but she will not go to psychiatric. I said that psychiatric will sleep.
That's how important pass. We need to test
whether because you know it's a torture when you go and live with mad people, even for 5 minutes. It's a torture, mental torture. And that was what we did to her. And you know now, if I go to my girlfriend's house, if she's driving you, before she will start her car, she will tell you use your seat belt, drop your phone, do this one, because she has gone through that punishment. But the big people then we dey concentrate on Daddy Chris. We the younger people, we are doing the right thing. I cannot drive in Abuja from maybe Apo Bridge to Rita Lorry as short as that distance without wearing a seatbelt, whether night, morning. If I must wear my whether on Sunday, because of course Sunday road safety not a day now, not a day road. I will see where it's a law is a law. But the thing is this, we are always conscious of this law. It's these big people, the big men that are not conscious. So until you have a leader, until you have, of course, the follower of these leaders, as worried day, so you go get your own, we have the executive, we have the judiciary, we have the legislative. So until you have leaders that are reasonable, that knows that, okay, this person must be prosecuted, whether it's one of us or not. Of course, they do a lot of things and they get away with it. Like I told you, a senator slapped a sales girl, and later he went to apologize because, of course, the footage was all over social media. The CCTV footage came out, and then after he still went and paid a little money to shut the girl up or to shut the parent up, he still came out and was still saying, no, nothing will happen and all. Of course, nothing happened. We all know that Ikwe Madu's case, if that was to be in Nigeria, by now that issue would have been long forgotten. Daddy Chris, they have to start. I'll keep saying it, if the head is not good, there's nothing that will become of the body. So as it stands, the leaders we have to go, we follow suit. If you say this law, do not cross this line, and then the leader cross them, they persecute the leader, whether na Fabio, whether na Dino, we don't care, they persecute them. The common man, we know that if this big man feel Goje, who am I not to Goje? Look at Dangowa for it. Why are we even talking much? Look at Dangowa just last week. 500 million naira that was used to bail this man. So are you trying to tell me that a common man that even just stabbed the wife, or they were even fighting, not like it's deliberate, so from fight, he slapped and the woman died. Some of them, they don't sentence them to death in prison, death in whatever, death penalty, life imprisonment. But look at your lawmakers. Look at the politicians that are doing this thing deliberately, killing. They don't want people to vote for their right candidate. You're voting against them. The next thing, they go shoot you. And then this man was caught, and they took this man in. The next day, never reached 5 days or 4 days. We are now hearing that he brought 500 million. That is 500 million, right? What are we saying? There is no law, Daddy Chris. Let's not even be painting this thing. No law here. It can't work.
Princess, what's the way forward? I have to ask that question because I come.
I have been repeating myself, Daddy Chris. I have been repeating myself, Daddy Chris. The only thing that can work here is when the leaders, for instance, as this Dangowa, for instance, I will always make a case study of him because that's the recent one. So, for instance, as this man now was alleged or accused of murder, he was supposed to be there until the court judgment is over totally, nothing like bail option. Are you getting? Yes, and then the common man will know that, oh, if this big man, as big, as rich as he is, this man can be held there for weeks, for months, that means me, I need to stay away from anything that will cause me this kind of thing. That is how the human being reason. That is how their mentality is.
For instance, yes. Like, for instance, if the prime minister of my country can be kicked out of office for only having a party, not that the man didn't do anything, for just having a party, they kicked him out of office. You know, no, the law is respecter of nobody. But how come that the laws in Nigeria respect the big men? And that comes out.
I remember them when during COVID-19, when they say everybody should stay at home on social distance, don't go out, don't do this and all that. All that we knew what happened that time. And then Funke Akindele, the one that is coming out as the vice governor now for representing PDP, Funke Akindele, Jennifer, she held a what's it called, a birthday party for the husband. Of course, she lives in an estate and she had to call neighboring people from other blocks to come and join. And you know what happened to her, right? She was taken to court. She was charged. And then I think they had to go and do tests for all of them, to carry out tests to make sure that they are not, they've not contacted COVID. And then they had to punish her to do community service in Lagos for a period of time. And then, as big as Jennifer, she had to wear normal clothes and was not picking things on the road, she and the husband and those people, and they all were on the road doing community service for that period of time. And because of the fact that this was done to Jennifer, the superstar, a lot of Nigerians had to follow suit. At that point, they knew that this is something serious. So if I go out, this will also happen to me. And of course, then I used to go out as a journalist. I go out with my ID card, and of course, I will see security agencies, mobile courts. Once you're caught, they'll take you to court immediately and they charge you immediately. And then, because these laws were serious at that point in time, Nigerians decided to stay back home, especially in Abuja here. People don't break the law. You can't even leave your house or your streets, because if you are caught, of course you will be charged and you face the law immediately. And so, because the laws were very, very active that period, a lot of people didn't want to fall victim and they had to sit back at home. So that decrease until we have a system that is working.
The system can work. The system can work. And you're giving me instance where it can work. So the only problem are these big fools who the system does not touch, the untouchable in society. That's the problem we have now. We have some people who
that's the word, untouchable. That is the word. They are untouchable. They are untouchable, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. They do things and they get away freely, easily, without stress. They get away. A lot of big people in Abuja here, they do horrible things and they get away. That decrease. There's nothing that can be done to them. And then if it's a common man, of course they will rot in jail. They will rot in jail. So Nigeria is just a country, really. I do not envy the person, like I said, the person that is coming. Now, until we have a system that can work, we have an institution that says they don't care who is who. That is it.
Because they will frustrate you.
That is it. Otherwise, nothing is working here.
Is it not what I was saying to you, Daddy? That who knows if Buhari has the tie Buhari hand for back? Even this your INEC man now, whether they tie hand for back, that he cannot even do the right thing. The man might want to.
And that shows that the system is not working. Like I said, when Buhari came in, the EFCC channels all the attention, activities geared towards PDP alone. And then people were saying these are lopsided arrest and accusation, because you can't say in the whole of this political sphere we have, now is only PDP. Right? That are corrupt. PDP members that are corrupt. And then at the end of the day, we know that a lot, and that made, and because of the arrest being made by EFCC, then channels towards just PDP, a lot of them started decamping to APC, which now made Adams Oshomole came out to say that he came out and he said that the moment you cross that line and you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. There's nothing anybody can do to you. And a lot of them also that time they had to decamp to APC just to save their heads. Until today, they are still working freely.
Princess, you said something now, but I remember This guy, one former speaker of the House of Rep, is it Dango? This one young guy like that, you understand? He made a speech as he was addressing civil servants. He said, politicians will be politicians. The civil servant should desist away from the activities of, these corrupt activities, which is really important, Princess. What we're talking about now is if civil servants from the office of the PAMSEC, they do their job, and even if a minister comes in there and they want to misbehave,
Hello, are you there, Daddy Chris? At the end of the day, the bottom line here is that we have to start from the leaders. We have to start from the leaders.
Okay.
If they say, okay, somebody is here doing this thing, no matter how big, no matter how their children are. I remember then when a girlfriend of mine this time, do you know that a politician's son raped a girl and they were trying to suppress that story? And just because these people are Islam, my girlfriend too, she's a Muslim, I was trying so hard to get into that story. And she was trying to babes, don't worry, these big people, not put your head, oh, I love you. So I said, no, this is not issue of love. This girl was living with them. This guy went to meet this guy, and this guy had to forcefully take advantage of this girl. This is not a story that should lie low. And do you know that it's great because this guy is a son of a very prominent person? That story did not even come out. This story did not see these people we keep, and that is why you see the children of this politician in Abuja. If you go out in Abuja and you see them, you will know now. They will even tell you, Save. They will tell you if you have friends that go to club, that go to party, they will tell you the way they bullshit people, the way they look down on people, the way they destroy things, and they tell you how much is it, after all I can replace it and all that. So I feel like it's when we start from these people. Like Ikwerema do now, see they so a body co, and this will always serve as a deterrent. Yes, as a deterrent to other politicians that you cannot go to UK, you can misbehave here or make it end here. You cannot go there and misbehave.
No, they don't show that. But there's one here. If you cross border, they catch you. If you cross border,
you see, so it serves as a deterrent to a lot of them to know that it's not business as usual in that when you get to UK. And that is why you see a lot of them when they go there, they are so humble, they are so low.
If you see them here, they enter the bus because in fact it's all like in Nigeria where they have convoy. Why did the fools come here and have convoy? Who the bloody fool? You come here, who come and pick you from the airport? Then you have policemen following you from where? You see
it's only in Nigeria you will see a convoy of a politician, a very big reputable politician driving past, hitting somebody along the road. For this person, the person injured, they rush am, they will not stop. They keep going. Where are they rushing to? I don't know. Of course, to pack more money, to gather more money. Nigeria matter, I beg. Like I said, there is no rule of law. There is no system. There is no structure. There is no institutions here. They are not working, and they are not willing either to work, because what they are doing is that they work in line with their God, the orders of their godfathers. That is what they do. They are in line with what? Yes, they are in line with what their godfathers, they tell them, do this, arrest this person, put your energy here. That is what they do. It's only in Nigeria they will tell you that, okay, in JAMB office, snake swallow 30 billion. And that story was left, just went like that. Snake in JAMB office came and swallow 30 billion, million. And where's that story today? Of course, a big man there has taken that money, and fellow big men went share with and just suppress that story. That is how it works here, Daddy Chris. And it has been like that.
Yes.
I only say that.
If I tell you what happened in my place, because I was the only thing when Ibori was in government, they brought this power plant to my community, and I was following it up. You understand? I felt it would be a very good thing to give job to the locals You see, answer development. So I was strictly supporting it. I was surprised that the Bori, it started during the time of the Bori. That thing was crippled. Nothing happened, and meanwhile, a lot of money was said to be spent on it. Oduara came. Listen, Oduara came, and Oduara claimed that he has spent 28 billion. If you go there, if 500 million naira have been spent in that place, they can change my name. That lingered on until Oduara left. When Okowa came, Okowa finally packed it and went to sell it. I was trying to raise the issue. It was my own friends in my own community saying that the Chris, I was telling him, but how can we allow this to happen? He said, hey, ban the question in that. The thing started from your brother. My brother, I leave the matter. I left it. But do you know
and that is why you see that.
Yeah. Because if
you see that,
it will drag all of them in from A to Z. And I asked them, what kind of society are we living in? You understand? Now,
in Delta State, a government will come in. You're trying to build NTA Delta, or you're trying to build a school. The school will not be up to standard. Like I said, we have NTA Warri, we have NTA Asaba. I think we have NTA Ogara, right? And they all have
only IT. Yeah. But there's one in JC. I think there's one around JC there. Another NTA there. Yeah.
Yes, half project, and then that was done by Ibori. I remember then. I was little, but I remembered. I did some of this research, and then you find out that they are all half projects. And then you begin to ask yourself, I was asking somebody then, why did they not just do one, either Warrior Saba or Ugedi or Saple, so that we have one that the national NTA can hook up to anytime they have a story from Delta State, rather than doing this and that. Of course, people were paid for this project, and then they did half and they left to the money. What happened? Because of course they say thief, thief, you know, they shout. So people too were stealing from the thieves.
Yes. If they wanted to correct it, they would have corrected it. If I tell you the closest one to me, I won't even dare. AIT is in Ugariki, it's not working. That one I don't even need to talk about it. It's gonna make me sick. When the drama of who was giving money to buy the land and how much was bought for the land, in fact, I got in between and I was a victim. I don't need to say it. That is the kind of things we see. These are shameful acts. And today, that thing that would have brought job to our kids, you mortgage our destiny. You see, this is not about that decrease. You can be angry with me. It's not me talking. It's the children that are coming. They are angry. In fact, they are yet unborn, but they are sad. They are crying. They are asking, what have you done to them?
At the end of the day, that decrease. It's just that our job here is to always talk, say this thing. We don't know who might be listening to us, of course, and of course, we don't know how many people. We take a clue from here. That whatever you do today, you might be somewhere now, you feel like you're untouchable, you own the world, you rule the world. Whatever you do today, somehow in the future, have a way of coming back to you and your kids.
That is what I love about it. You cannot do anything. Anything you throw out in this world comes back. If you do good, it will come back. It may not be you. It will fall on your children. That's why they call it generational curse. In fact, most of the pastors, they know how to make money with that. You know, anything we do, there must be a repercussion. There's a repercussion. I love the law of physics. Action and reaction are equal and opposite.
Yes, and of course, we see that. We see also that. Ikwe Madu's case, I bet he would have been regretting the fact that somebody with so much money, so much wealth, so much properties, and then is not able to have access to any of these right now. He's not able to, and these people, of course, his fellow politicians, none of them too will come and call help him, because they're near there too, they will arrest them.
In fact, they don't come out. We don't hold them here. No, we wait for you before. We don't hold them because they just carry 5 times.
Yes, and
they will say you carry money.
Yes, and so because of that, you can see that somebody like Ikwe Madu would have been regretting, because they had the opportunity to better the health system. They they had the opportunity to better the educational sector, but still they didn't care, because of course their children, they always go school abroad, their children, they go medicals abroad, their children, they go holidays abroad. They don't care. And look at this, this, well, now we've been crying about road, about railway, about everything, none of them care. But you see, say when the things, they don't, they touch them small small, they go like that, they will come, they realize. So we really do hoping that a lot of people, I understand what you said also, that it, sometimes it has to start from us, we as individuals. So like I said yesterday, it is not the government that is coming to beat that maid you kept in your house. I met somebody, that was the case of Ahmed Issa the other time, that a girl that was living with, I think the girl was living with somebody. The girl was living with somebody, and then the girl had to use a, is it knife or something, iron, to burn a little girl's head. They had to take the matter to Ahmed Issa. Do you know, Ahmed Issa was angry. Ahmed Issa was like, how can you do this to a child that was left in your care? And Ahmed Issa, the girl was trying to over just be, she was talking anyhow. Ahmed Issa had to slap the girl. And of course, I know that was not part of the ethics of journalism. It's not part of it. But you know, now Nigerians came and we're now going after Ahmed Issa. You don't have right to slap the girl. That is violent. That is molesting. What he did in the studio in the presence of everybody. And so I will still say it, in as much as we're blaming the government, we also as individuals, like you said, yes, we'll start from ourselves. Because sometimes nobody is watching you. You know this thing you're doing is evil. Oh. This thing is against the law. You're doing it. And that is why sometimes you go to some, for instance, you go to some offices. I was driving one day to Nasarawa State. I went to Kefi. I drove. And then I got there and I saw police via road safety. In as much as some of them are good, do you know, this guy was telling me that, Madam, hack. Of course, I was not ready to laugh with him. So he knew that this one said no go cooperate. So what he needed to do was just to waste my time. Bring your driver's license, I brought. Bring your particulars, I brought. Bring your triangle, how do you call that thing? Fire extinguisher, I brought. And I said, bring your spare tire. I say, oh God, everything is complete. You don't expect that I will drive all the way from Abuja to here without this thing. Like, are you sure? I'm not sure. By the time I'm done with you, you see that not you don't have some of these things. So the thing is this, that Chris, some of these people, individuals, they know that this is against the law. They are doing it. So it starts from us as people also, not just the government. I know that, of course, when the government, when they touch them well, people go follow suit. Like when it happened to Funke Akindele, superstar, everybody knew this was serious. So Lagos refused to go out. Do you get? Because they didn't want to be caught in that situation or going for community service. A homie go find a sweep road for Lagos. Of course, you know the media will not forget. These things will always be in the internet. So they refuse to come out because of the fear of the law. And so sometimes too, the institution will have to make these things work for Nigerians to sit up. If they are not working, Nigerians will not sit up. You see, now it's give and take. They have to make sure they are working for us to know that this thing is really working. If I don't do it, this is the consequences. That's just it, Daddy Chris.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much. God bless you. And it's always nice to have you because you bring it. You in fact you bring in a very you are more on the side of the ordinary person, which I understand, and this makes sense. You understand? The problem is, I always say to people, when somebody asked me one time to define who is an educated person, I was slowed down. I slowed down, and I said I would prefer to define a civilized person. And he said, go on. I said a civilized person is anybody that obeys the law. Like you said, sometimes we in Nigeria, we want to enforce our law with morality. It's not a moral thing. Law is it's an organic, it's a mechanical thing. It says this is A is equal to A. A plus B can be AB. There's no other way. You understand? So that is the only way we're going to solve this problem. You understand? We have to put a mechanism in place to enforce law and order in Nigeria, such that the bloody president do not have the opportunity to misbehave. See, Princess, this is the case now. There's a new law that is passed. I don't know how well that is. That there should be Freedom of Information Act in Nigeria. What that means is we the citizens need to know how much is coming from the federal government to your state. How much goes to social ministry? So we can ask questions. It's our money. How can you hide that from us? These are little things that Nigerians need to be chasing. Rather than this whole president sending money. How many of you Nigerians are saying today, how much is coming to my state? I want to know. How is the governor spending it? How much is coming to my local government? I want to know. How are they spending it? How much is coming to the super deck? I want to know. How are they spending it? These are intelligent. It's your right. It's your money. Why don't we ask those questions? Why are we so much interested? You know, if I put this show now, we're talking about Putokowa, are they going to vote? Everybody will be happy. That's not my interest. I'm interested in society building. These fools will go. Okowa is not important. The structure of Delta State being in place for the future generation, or even for me when I'm older, is more important to me. Because Okowa is going to serve only 8 years, he's gone. His story. But he has not impacted. You see, no language to explain this. There will be no bad prime minister in the United Kingdom. You know why? Because the system will not allow him or her.
The people that are supposed to be questioning Okowa, as at the time Okowa was borrowing these monies, that is going to plunge the whole state into problem. Who are the people signing the money? They, of course, all of them, they're the same WhatsApp group. That is why we say there are no laws. Even there in Delta State, the judiciary that is supposed to be questioning some of these acts, the House of Assembly, these same people, all of them, they borrow, they share, they gather, they eat. So what do you expect?
Okowa will tell you, I am a politician. You see, the only club is, you know the truth, and I really have to say this today to Nigerians. If your act of smartness is how you can rape your own people, you are not smart, you are stupid. That's the only word I have to say to them. Because you cannot be smart raping your own children. Because some of these things will affect their children. No, Okowa children cannot walk on the street freely. And you are a governor. That is a failure. You think money can save your children from walking on the street freely? Your children would have lived in a better society if they
but of course, Daddy Chris, these people do not care because
they do. Princess.
They feel that they
don't care, but they do.
They don't care because at the long run, the children, you will not even see them. The way they bodyguard themselves, that is how they bodyguard their children.
For how long? See, this is the short-sightedness of our people. You see, you can look at even Princess. Sometimes there are two kinds of prison. They put you in prison where you cannot go out. That's one. Then the one you put yourself. Have you been to this politician house? If you see the fence, who live in that kind of case?
Was that not the same point I made earlier on, Daddy Chris? I said, what is actually the point of taking so much security to your house instead of these people working on the road, safeguarding the lives of the common Nigerians, when you already have so much fence in your house, so much bodyguards, so much bulletproof doors and cars?
It's not enough because the more they steal, the more insecure they feel. Nobody's chasing them. That is idle running. They're running from themselves. And you see, because you see, Princess, they know themselves. They know they have, you see, when you commit a sin, you know, you don't need God to tell you first. When God called Adam, before God called Adam doesn't say, I'm naked. Because when you sin, you know you have sinned. These guys are running from themselves because they know what they've done. And I'm happy that the government of the international world is beginning to disgrace you guys. And that is a step. And I want to thank the British government for doing this for us. Meaning none of our money will be coming here like that again. And those of you bringing your children here, they go put you for prison here. They come. When you come for graduation, as you carry big money, they come for graduation, we'll just hold you. We'll be watching them. One mistake, we'll hold you here. Not be graduation, you come again. Because all they do is they come for their children's graduation. Have you seen them? I've seen this one, your former Senate president. Even that stupid short governor of Ebonyi State. All of them, they come. If you see them, when they come here, say they call my children the graduation. Your state, God will punish all of them. You run a state where children of your state cannot go to uni. They are home. The university are dead. Your children are here. You're coming for graduation. How can God forgive you?
It's very, very shameful. Very shameful.
I keep saying it to every day in Nigeria. How can you be in government? Your children are not studying in Nigeria, and you think you are with me? If I am the one, the first question I will ask: where are your children? Your children is not studying here. You are not my governor. Nageloko. A time will come, these children will ask questions. Anytime they know that your children don't study in Nigeria, they won't vote for you. That's where we're going now. Nigeria, the open eye. We won't stop. Princess, can we stop tonight?
Yes, we can stop. But before we go, we Nigerians learn. These ones that carry ballot boxes during the last election. These ones they gave so much guns and they were shooting people, like killing. Who are those ones? Still the youths. We they learn. If not, I like that question that journalist from Delta was asking Sheriff the other day. Where are your children? Because at the end of the day, somebody's child will come and be campaigning for you. Somebody's child will come and be carrying the ballot box, snatching for you, killing on your behalf, and then at the end of the day, like I said when I saw that picture from Sanwo-Olu 2 days ago, I said Nigerians will not learn. Somebody come, will they lick ice cream with you? Since when that one start, Oga? Because I go ask you, who are you, please?
Since when you they lick ice cream with us? You know, Princess, there was a time, I'm not telling you this story. I was in Lagos, you know, I had this girlfriend, we were living together. You know, because I had a lot of money, I'd always a jump. You understand? So one night, I was at home. She didn't wait till I want to jump out because she know I'm never home. And I said, okay, you don't get money. I said, are you stupid? Why are you asking me that question? He said, for you to stay house. If I say pocket dry. You understand? So you want to ask me, go, hi, Baba. So, okay, you broke. Why are you here? Because you don't belong here. I don't, you know, say you know this thing here now. What did they have? Not for us. You know, that is a very good one, Princess. Anyway, before we go, Princess, I just want to share this video. They said it's happening in Delta State. I don't know whether it is true, but it's a very disturbing one. The thing they come out to deny it, but if it is true, let us just watch it. This is coming from Ologu, the deputy Senate president. Okay, I have to share it. It's my job to do so. If not lie, go defend yourself. Anyway, the news says that it's a propaganda, and I want to agree. But if it is not, if it's a propaganda, okay, come and deny him. Talk. You see what I don't understand there? In fact, the PDP is not even your problem. I think your problem is more of the Labour Party. I don't know. And so they're talking about PDP. Your problem should be worried about Labour Party. This is what the federal government was thinking when they interviewed this man. What is his name? Atiku. Atiku said he doesn't understand that what is people doesn't know about Labour Party. What is that? People don't understand that. But he saw it in his village, in his own village. If he didn't read the election, he would have seen war. So your problem is no more APC and PDP. Your problem is Labour Party because the children have come. They are out to take over their country. Princess, that's a very funny one. And I don't think we have much time. I wanted to share this journalist from Arise Television. He put up this this our issue in place. Well, I don't want us to dwell on this aggregating because I don't believe in them. They lie. They said that please your brother they fight to the Omene. Who be that? Who be that again? I will try and find out, my sister. Erikefe, let me know now who is fighting so that I know who and who. All right, and we will know how to come into the matter. Well, Princess, thank you very much. You are still you are a blessing to us. I hope you are there, Princess. I want Princess back because I need Princess back. I want that Princess will not closing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very long day. Senior and junior they fight. Who are they? I hope it's the Omene family. They never tire. I used to like one of the Omene, the one that was our local government chairman. And I was trying to tell Baba Omene to calm down. I think the trouble within the family should have stopped it. I will try and find out what it is. We'll see what it is. Anyway, they better stop disgracing themselves. Nigeria, I thank you all. Hi. Princess, if I show that thing for the war, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the presence of greatness. Princess has been with us, has been talking us through her experiences and what we need to do as a people. I want to say something, Nigeria. When I came on this show, I came very ready, but I don't think I was really prepared for the show anymore. Because Princess had made me to realize a lot of things that I'm not aware of. But in any case, Nigeria, I still believe that we should spend energy to build our institutions. I don't know how. Like Princess said, who are the people to do it? She asked me a difficult question. I don't know how the answers to it. Like I said, I don't know the answer. But our true problem is not the president. Our true problem is a system in place that can stop the president from misbehaving. How do we achieve that, Nigerians? Sit down. You are an intelligent human being. How can we put in place a system, not waiting for Buhari, that God? Oh, you see, Obama came to Africa. This was when he was president. He said he made this speech in Cairo that you don't need a superhero president. What you need are strong institutions. See, today, we are not thinking right. Our problem is not going to be solved by who? By one superhero. Our problem will be solved by our institutions. Princess, give us a closing talk so that we can close the show. It's like StreamYard is very angry with me. I forgot to pay them and they are just actually misbehaving right now. So let's go. Okay, Princess, can you hear me?
Hello, Daddy Chris.
Yes, I said we're going to close for now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you briefly. Yes, last one. I said I'll give you a chance to give your last speech so that we can close. Okay, for some reason, my machine is probably acting funny, so I'm going to say good night to Princess. Princess, good night. All right, we will be here tomorrow again.
Good night, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to end the show tonight. My name is Daddy Chris, and there was Princess. She's been able to talk us through, and she will be with us here tomorrow again. Tomorrow, we're going to look at what we discussed yesterday and today in one, so that Nigerians can chase our problem ahead of the next election. My take is our problem is not just the leaders. Our problem is the institution. And the kind of democracy we should be practicing should be tailored to us. It's my wish that we should get rid of all the local government and use our kings to work. After all, they collect salary from the state. To doing what? And we pay double, we pay local government, let them do the local government work. Well, we'll discuss that another day. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is Urubut National Television, and this is SRTV. I say stay out of trouble. When you go out to vote, please do not vote for somebody whose children is abroad and your own is suffering at home. Think. A good man will not rape his country, send the children abroad and tell you to come and vote for him. What is he doing? Why is his children not there? That's it's a litmus test of leadership in Nigeria. God bless you.
NTR TV. Innovate.